All right, everybody. Thank you once again, GM, for joining us this morning on another Friday community call with the InvArch community. I actually have my coffee with me this time. I always joke about that, bring your coffee, but I rarely have it. I came prepared this morning. So, we've got our coffee, we've got our community, we've got our friends, and let's just get right into it, guys. So, you guys you all know how I like to start these things off. I usually just like to fill everybody in with how the week's gone. So far the week has been amazing. Like as far as work goes, we had a lot of development in just a short amount of time. We hammered out a lot of the things that we weren't like solidly confident on yet regarding the ambassador program and how we wanted those mechanisms to work. We hammered everything out. We got everything ready to go. It rolls out later today. I'm going to talk more about that here in a little bit. But super excited for that. It was something that we've been trying to get knocked out for a little over like 2 weeks now. Just hammering out all the changes, making sure everything's satisfactory, trying to institute some mechanisms to inspire community like competition and friendliness and stuff like that. So it's just been really cool to see everything kind of come to fruition and be born out of that. Apart from that, I'd say in my personal life, it's been cool. My nieces and nephews stayed the night at our house for the first time, so my kids had a huge ball with that. Not only that, but my daughter has officially started saying daddy, and it is arguably the cutest thing in the entire world. So yeah, it's just all around been a good week. So I've had a great time. I'm excited to get into this weekly Wednesday, but I want to hear from you guys as well. So AJ, I'll hand the mic over to you, and then once you share with the community like how your week's gone, if you want to, you can pass it on to anybody if they want to. If not, we'll just dive right on into the next segment.
100%. First, shout outs to Tycho M, who's joined the Discord right now. Pirate at the what's it called? Dan Pirate Society. I was gonna say Dread Pirates. Ape at Chaos DAO. Super awesome to have you here, man. Yeah, so I've been having a great week, actually. Very busy, as Casey knows as well. I mean, both being on InvArch. We had, if you guys haven't seen yet, Udal DAO came out. Huge article on that. Really cool collection. I think it's a revolutionary NFT collection that's going to just be super awesome. And there are still, I believe last time I checked, there are still tickets available on Singular. So, hey, I mean, support the collection if you haven't yet. And yeah, just, heads down, like Dakota says, busy building, busy working. But I'm happy to be here.
Absolutely, man. Very exciting time. I'm actually glad you mentioned the tickets because I wanted to just drop that link for anybody who would be interested in possibly buying it in the community chat. Just so you guys know, the Udal DAO, I'm going to talk more about it here in just a minute. We have a lot of things to talk about today, a lot of exciting stuff. But quick summarization of the link I just dropped, that gives you a link to there's 10 limited tickets being produced. One of them, as far as I'm aware, is already gone. I don't know the exact amount. I haven't checked this morning. So there might still, I'm sure there are still some available. If you guys are interested in that, these tickets will allow you to get a customized Udal, literally fit and tailored to you. It's why we've been saying it's time to be you. That's what this Udal DAO is allowing. And these exclusive tickets are truly one of the most cool things because it will allow you to get in touch with us and we will get a very much personalized, it will look like you, it will have things about your personality with it. Like if you examine mine, just for example, so for those of you who don't know, I'm a huge Skyrim nerd, like huge Skyrim, love Elder Scrolls. So I play Skyrim like all the time. It's my comfort game. So if you look at my character, for example, he's wearing some armor from Skyrim as well as wielding a sword. I'm also a veteran in the armed forces, so I have a dog tag around my neck. Beard as always, and then repping the Discord logo above my head because I'm the community manager over here. as well as an AirPod because I'm a music junkie. Usually, if I'm not recording videos for the community, I have some background music going on. I'm just rocking out, vibing, doing my thing. So, very, very customized, very personal. Oh, I almost forgot to mention too. The horns in the background on mine are supposed to be like the horns from a Skyrim like iron helmet. So I seen that after the fact, after he'd already submitted it. Somebody pointed it out to me, and I don't know how I missed it the first time, but I was just like, oh my god, that is so cool. But yes, very, very cool customized NFTs. But we will get more into them in just a minute. So does anybody else really quickly just want to share with the community how their week was? If you did anything fun and exciting, it doesn't have to be exactly relevant to Web3 or .sama. It could just be something fun that you want to share with the community. We're all friends here, and we like to support one another. So if you guys want to share anything related to .sama, anything related to just something you did that was really fun in your personal life, we would love to hear from you guys. Anyone feel free to take over the mic. If nobody does within like 30-ish seconds, we'll just move on into the next segment, guys. All right. So moving on to the next segment. Sorry, I had to get a drink of my coffee. It's like extremely watered down now for some reason. It tastes bad. But anyways, immediate events. So as you all know, if you've been keeping up with things, Tinkernet will be onboarding on August 8th, according to Block Time. Tinkernet, as a parachain, will be hosting like the InvArch protocol. It'll see like the first InvArch Git. It'll be first realized on Tinkernet and all the amazing things about it and connected to it. So not only that, but Tinkernet will be the first parachain to showcase palette implementation of Remark NFTs for Substrate. So it's very, very exciting. Like the Remark NFT 2.0 standard hasn't been implemented anywhere else. So we are excited to be able to take that on. Not only that, but going directly into like this ties more into the Udall DAO thing. So I'll kind of hold off to talk about that in a little bit. But for those of you who are aware, for those of you who might just be getting into InvArch and not familiar, we recently held a Tinkernet crowd loan on Kusama, and we had an amazing contribution, over 1,000 contributors, tons of support from our community. It was really cool to see. We had all kinds of people from outside of our Discord, people who weren't even in there, who just were familiar with .sama, and they wanted to showcase, like once they realized what we were doing, they really backed us, they supported us, and it was really cool to see all that outside support from people who weren't necessarily familiar with who we were in the ecosystem yet, discover us through the crowd loan and be like, wow, this is really revolutionary tech and we want to support this. We did get a lot of that, so it was very, very cool to see. It was very reassuring as a project because we are doing something that's pretty unique. We're not just a different type of blockchain solution for something that already exists. We're the first intellectual property like assets management protocol that exists. So it's very, very serious what we're doing. Like, we can't play around with IP rights and things like that. That was the whole reason, like we did the brainstorm testnet for those of you who were here for that, for our brainstormers, because we weren't going to be playing around with real IP assets, but we wanted to be able to showcase the functionality and the tech. So for those of you who are excited for that, that's just 3 days away according to Block Time. If it happens sooner, because like for example with the actual crowd loan, the Block Time like kicked it way up from what it was estimated to start. So if for some reason that happens, we will notify you guys ASAP. But as for now, plan on it being August 8th, according to Block Time. Approximately 2 months after the deployment of the Tinkernet parachain on Kusama, OSIF, or the On-Chain Innovation Funding Protocol, as you all know it, is going to go live. I talked about this last weekly call that we had. For those of you who missed it, I will drop a link to, let me find it here, I have it somewhere pulled up. But while I'm talking about it, I have a link to the basically article that talks about OSIF. OSIF comprises 3 different staking mechanisms. Just to give you a brief summarization of it. One is IP staking, which is for community support-based fundraising. One is IP farming for establishing price discovery, token liquidity, and user bases. And then you have IP donations, which is for community supported and charity funded grant initiatives. IP donations is really cool. We talked about this once again last week, and we went back and forth on which one we think was the coolest. Um, excuse me. However, I will once again argue that I think IP donations is one of the coolest ones, because it's like it offers, in a sense, some form of charity that you're allowed to do. Um, and for depending on where you live at country wise, you could even get like tax exemptions based on donating to different IPs. So very very cool. If you guys want to catch a bigger update on what OSIF is, what you can expect with it going live on Tinkernet, I'm going to go ahead and drop a link as well to the EduSeries article covering superpowering innovation with OSIF. Just dropped it in the chat, so make sure if you haven't read that, you go ahead, catch up on that. Very, very good stuff. You're going to want to know what is coming to Tinkernet when OSIF gets launched. With that in mind, OSIF getting ready to deploy after 2 months after being Tinkernet onboarding as a parachain. So I'm not going to keep covering OSIF on Tinkernet because we did that last week. For those of you who want a briefer, or not briefer, but more in-depth explanation of what OSIF is, what you can expect with that, please just go ahead and hop on my YouTube channel when I post the video link for this one, and you can find the most recent one from last week and get a more in-depth explanation as to what OSIF is and what you can expect with it. But does anybody have any thoughts, questions, anything related to Tinkernet prior to onboarding? This will be kind of the last opportunity that will be congregated in this sense for you to ask a question before it is onboarded in just 3 days. So speak now if you have a question regarding Tinkernet or Forever Hold Your Peace. If I'm able to answer it, I will. If for some reason I can't answer it, I will jot down your question and I will get back to you with an answer as soon as possible. Okay, nobody has any questions regarding Tinkernet. That's totally fine. AJ, just before I move on into the next segment, I was going to ask you once again, what is the most exciting thing you're looking forward to with Tinkernet being onboarded? Me personally, it might just be a little corny, but I'm just excited to see our technology finally be onboarded just in and of itself. Like the functionality behind it is going to be amazing, 100%, but just to see it finally get onboarded into the ecosystem that we've been supporting and finally see it go live, finally see some functionality being able to be had there, I'm like giddy over it like a schoolgirl almost. So, what about you, AJ?
Because I've been on the social media side of things, because I've been really just focusing on a little bit more like leaning towards, GitHub, GitLabs, all that content. And me not being a dev, but really seeing the benefits of, on-chain decentralized repositories, right? That has really increased my excitement when it comes to Tinkernet. Again, not a dev. I've never used GitHub or GitLab in my life until recently, just to get my feet wet, just to know how it works and whatnot. But I can definitely see the benefit and the advantages of having your Git workflow on chain. And if you guys haven't seen it yet, on the @TinkerParachain Twitter account, a thread was published on GitLab planning to remove inactive projects on GitLab, and of course it's driven by monetary by a monetary agenda, of course. I'm sure there is substance when it comes to the organizational and tech side of things, but the big thing is with Tinkernet, with InvArch for Git, and therefore eventually when InvArch is realized, any devs, if you're a dev and you're in this call, or if any devs that will be watching this on YouTube later on, your projects will never ever be deleted per se off of Tinkernet off of InvArch Git, because it's all on chain. Um, Even if it remains inactive or not much has been done for X amount of time, like it's meant to be there to stimulate innovation and to keep ideas going and, growing and developing. So, yeah, that's what I'm really excited about.
I would argue that that's probably what most of the devs on our team are the most excited about, because they understand that, like, we joke about it all the time. Like, we used to think, whenever everything was like booming, whenever the ecosystem was booming, the market was booming, everything was up, just like, whatever, at the end of last year, basically. We thought that it wouldn't be so difficult finding like Web3 devs, and then we quickly realized, like, okay, these people like what they're doing, and it's kind of hard to pull somebody from something that they're already committed to or they're already familiar with. It's kind of like that saying, like, if something's not broken, you don't need to fix it. So for us to be able to provide this functionality, and like you said, making the counter argument for those who are just, they're comfortable in GitHub and they don't want to go anywhere. They're like, I don't need it. We made the UI the exact same, what you're familiar with. But on top of that, like what you just said, they're getting ready to remove like tons of inactive things, tons of whatever dormant accounts. So imagine if, like you said, anything that went dormant, like this is not the case, but I'm just saying, like, what if there was a case like if somebody had something that went dormant and it was dormant for over 5 years, it automatically became like open source or something. These are all just ideas. This isn't something that actually is functional as it stands now for InV4 Git, but I'm just pitching that as an idea, because what if somebody has incredible, incredible stuff on Git like that as it is now, and it's getting ready to just be deleted or destroyed because they've been inactive or they haven't been able to be there for a while. Um, I can't I can't imagine. You know, somebody probably is sitting on a golden egg and they don't even realize it, and it's going to be gone. And the main point that I'm trying to drive home is that if GitArch or like was fully launched at this point, and you were on that, um, then this wouldn't even be happening. You wouldn't have to worry about that, and neither would the rest of the world. Like, if, for example, if some great innovator is uh, doing things on GitArch, and then, God forbid, they just suddenly drop dead, their stuff is there. It's stored, it's saved, and it can't just be dormant and then be removed after X amount of time. But yeah, AJ, I 100% agree. I hadn't really thought about talking about GitArch or InV4 Git as it is now, the first step to realizing GitArch. But yeah, no. Providing that for devs as it is now is huge because it will not only increase adoption, like it's also like our Web3 milestone, So it was very, very important. It was very something that we cared a lot about, and to finally see it done, being pushed, is so cool. Um, but moving on from OSIF and Tinkernet, anything like that, I do want to talk now to you guys a little bit specifically about the UDL DAO. So if you guys don't know, we did release an article, I believe just yesterday. Yeah, literally yesterday. So UDL DAO will be a community-controlled DAO that focuses on the continued prosperity and growth of the overall .Sami ecosystem. Excuse me. The DAO will showcase and utilize some of the most advanced on-chain features in Web3. UDL DAO will not just feature a multi-layer governance structure, but also enforce its operations trustlessly and transparently on-chain. The DAO will launch a community-owned Discord server that will be the first of its kind, powered by leading edge of off-chain computation, multi-signature ownership, and novel cross-chain innovations. The UDL DAO experience. UDL DAO will begin its journey with the launch of the UDL's NFT collection on the Singular NFT marketplace. UDLs will experience a life traveling through the evolution of NFT technology. As this journey progresses, UDLs will be the first to experience some of the most radical and empowering leading edge innovations throughout NFTs, DAOs, and smart contracts. NFT 1.0 single resource NFTs, commonly used as profile pictures, Remark 2.0 composable, customizable, multi-component NFTs, InV4 Remark, DAOs, multi-sig, treasuries, governance, reputation, and XCA and InvArch, proofed across multiple chains and environments for plagiarism. The objective of UseLDAO, oh, excuse me, I butchered that when I started talking. The objective of UDLDAO is to foster disruptive projects and incubate the brightest minds and innovation teams in Web3. The plan is to accept one project every 6 to 12 months at first, providing one of the strongest and most immediate arms of grassroots support available by providing specialized services across various fields such as development, marketing, design, networking, and even education. The various roles throughout UDLDAO and the ability to govern over their fields are determined by the classes shared among each UDL. We have like several already developed as it is now. If you wanted to, for example, you can look at basically every team member that you all are familiar with on InvArch as it is now has one, and they most likely already have it equipped across all of their social media. For example, AJ has his equipped right now. I have mine equipped. We're the only team members officially on the call right now, so you guys don't see any others. But if you were to go on Twitter, for example, and look at all of our different Twitter accounts, you would see that we all have UDLs equipped. UDLs is intentionally designed for the sake of this journey throughout NFT evolution and to serve as prime volunteers to showcase InvArch and Remark technologies. Every UDL component and feature is hand-drawn by InvArch network designer Yaroslav, or more commonly known as GGR and Cryptonaut on Twitter. Shout out to Yaroslav because he has seriously been working very hard on these. He's very passionate about what he does. He has stayed with a consistent theme throughout the branding of our entire development as a network, and he's been killing it. He was an ambassador originally, so he came from the ambassador program, and we fostered him right into the team. I mean, I think he redesigned our website 3 times as an ambassador, without us obviously asking him to do that. He just literally redesigned the entire website and submitted it to us 3 times. So that was really, really cool. So without that, I just wanted to say shout out to Yaroslav. I know he's not here right now. He might watch this later, but he definitely deserves the shout out for it because he's been working very hard, and it's really, really, really cool what he's done. There's 21 UDLs which will be custom made and purposefully pieced together, and 30 UDLs will be able to guarantee 3 of their features. 950 UDLs will be randomly generated across sets of UDL groups. Only 10 custom UDLs will be available to obtain, and another 10 have previously been allocated for members of the InvArch team, in addition to 1 UDL that has been reserved for serving as the face of the UDL collection, which is Gavin Woodle. These 21 custom UDLs will provide full access and voting privileges throughout the DAO, in addition to a higher magnitude of voting weight than other UDLs. There will be 10 custom UDL ticket NFTs available on Singular to purchase, burn, applied to claim one of the custom UDLs. 30 UDLs will be later available through a similar UDL ticket sale. These UDLs will come with more immediate customizations, DAO access, and voting weight than most UDLs. The remaining 950 UDLs will be randomly generated. Out of these, 700 UDLs will be listed on Singular, and 250 will be reserved as earn only. Earn only means only attainable through DAO participation by non-UDL holders. Non-UDL holding DAO interns will automatically unlock these UDLs after achieving enough reputation in UDL-DAO. This allows individuals to earn their voice in the DAO if they cannot obtain a UDL through the first or secondary market. On top of the extraordinary enhancements, I almost can never say that word, I'm going to restart. On top of the extraordinary enhancements provided by the InV4 protocol on the InvArch Tinkernet, UDLs will also be the first to undergo cross-chain authentication using the cross-chain authentication protocol being realized by the InvArch team. UDLs will make history as the first plagiarism-resistant and one-day plagiarism-proof NFT assets. UDLs will be cross-referenced against various NFTs across various ecosystems and provided a Hamming distance or similarity score across all of the assets they were referenced against. One day, these scores will provide statuses that trustfully safeguard all UDLs across all of Web3 from IP theft and unauthorized copyright. UDLs will even know when a similar asset comes into existence. The DAO will be built using a series of new NFT primitives introduced to the Kusama ecosystem by the Tinkernet parachain. Additionally, the DAO will be powered by utility-specific smart contracts called smart licenses and realization of trustless computations regarding off-chain services, which will result from Fala Networks' I can't believe Fala Networks fat contracts. Guys, you're gonna have to give me a break here. I've been up since like way earlier than I usually am because of my baby, so my speech is a little off. UDL DAO members will accumulate on-chain reputation using multiple types of non-transferable fungible tokens in combination with an on-chain leveling system. Their underlying system will provide transparency over DAO membership, notoriety, advancement, and influence. The DAO will feature various communication channels, such as general public square, group exclusive channels, and combinations of groups governing shared interests. UDLs will be given shared ownership over the UDL DAO treasury, which consists of 20% of the initial UDL NFT sale revenue on top of 100% of continued royalties. Token allocations from other projects and Tinker tokens accrued from IP staking. A native stablecoin will also join the list in the future, no doubt. So, the first phase of UDL DAO kicks off and has kicked off already. The 10 custom UDL tickets have been listed at a starting price of 50 KSM. Every 6 hours, the asking price will be reduced by 1 KSM until they hit a floor of 40 KSM. And purchasers will receive a custom UDL tailored to match their appearance. So once again, this is what I was talking about. It's literally meant to look exactly like you. A customized background with custom features and custom accessories. Voting power 10, so access level 3 with a base rep of 100 over 1,000. 30 special UDL vouchers will be listed later, no later than August 11th, so keep your eyes out if you want one of those, at a starting price of 25 KSM. Every 6 hours, the asking price will be reduced by 1 KSM until hitting a floor of 15 KSM, and purchasers will receive 2 custom features and 1 custom accessory. Voting power 5, access level 2 with a base rep of 50 over 800. Concluding the sales and creation of the first 51 UDLs, the remaining 950 UDLs will be minted. Out of these, 700 will be listed on Singular starting at 1 KSM. Purchasers will receive 1 randomly generated UDL with voting power level 1, access level 1 with base reputation of 1 out of 500. You can stay up to date on all things UDLs by following UDL DAO on Twitter, and I will go ahead and drop that for you guys. I'll drop the link if you guys want to follow UDL DAO, so you guys can stay up to date with us. Dropping that in the chat link. All right. And then if you guys want to, you can even check out the current UDLs on Singular. So this is not the link directly to the tickets, but this is just a link to the collection itself if you guys want to go ahead and check out what's already there. Excuse me, guys, my voice just like completely gave up. So, UDL DAO. Once again, there's approximately, let me see if I can tell how many tickets there are. I know for a fact at this time we have an individual with us who did buy one of the custom tickets. Shout out to Dustin. He was eagerly waiting to purchase one from the moment I think he heard about UDL DAO. So very exciting. Are you excited to get your customized UDL? Dustin?
Oh, yeah, I was trying to get my unmute button. Yeah, I've been talking to Yuldao, the admin, and then he's gonna release some information today on how to claim the custom NFT and get started. So yeah, I'm pretty excited, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited too. Whenever I'm gonna be realistic. They did a very good job at like just keeping this thing like kind of more like secretive and like exciting.
Right.
They were kind of like, hey, we're gonna be releasing this really cool thing, and basically when they told us about it, it was like, oh, okay, so like this is gonna be the way that we essentially showcase our first functionality through Tinkernet and stuff. So it was like really cool. I'm really excited for the DAO to get started and kick off, and excited for you to be a part of it as well, because you're going to be one of the level 3 voting access holders, man.
Yeah, I'm excited because it's like it's a way for me to be a part of InvArch, and like and also just like helping any way I can for you guys. Because I'm really everything you guys do is just amazing. I love the quality of your work. The ideas, the implementing, the community, the artwork, the everything, Tinkernet, yeah, just all of it. It's just amazing. So it's my way to add value to your guys' community.
Well, thank you, Dustin. Trust me, we very much love you over here too. We always reference you when we talk about NFTs or like GM raps. Like we're always talking about Dustin and how he loves our community, and we love him too. Um,
Yes, sir. Just to say a little bit about the community, you guys. We are gonna have Gabe today on GM this 7 p.m. UTC.
okay, okay.
So on join us. Give your support to Gabe, Crunch, part of InvArch, but he's a advisor for GM as well. So hope you guys can be there.
You heard the man. You heard the man. Well, guys, one of the last things I wanted to talk to you guys about is obviously I've been kind of holding off on this one because it's kind of a bigger thing regarding like what I do. Is the big ambassador program update that we had. So basically, it goes live today at 12 a.m. UTC time for Saturday. So for me, it's like 7 p.m. But basically, when that update goes live, a lot of things are going to immediately change. So you'll see some new core roles pop up. Nobody's filled these, so don't be thinking like you're actually going to see somebody in that role. But you will notice if you go and check, there's going to be some new core roles in the embassy server for those of you who are already a part of it. Basically, for those of you who are in our community who want to be a part of the ambassador program, what I can tell you is we just updated the application forms, so we have more questions, more information that we wanted to get from you guys before accepting. So if you guys are not currently in the InvArch embassy, if you haven't ever been accepted as an army member, and you want to, please apply on the new form. I will actually, while I'm talking about it, I will get the link to both of the forms. I will drop those in the chat as well. But basically, there's a lot of changes. So one of the biggest updates to the program that's going to immediately take effect is we will no longer have points. So the point system, which is what we have literally used since the beginning of the ambassador program, to basically calculate how much Varge people are earning based off how many tokens, based off how many points they're getting for their works. And we decided that instead of doing that, we wanted to just be fully transparent because we believe transparency is the best policy. By the way, just drop those application forms in the chat as well for those of you who might be interested. But we wanted to be totally transparent with those of our ambassador community as it is now, and for those of you who are interested and possibly wanting to come in. So we changed it to where basically it's just straight up, just out there. I'll also be providing in the actual general community, I will be soon providing like a list of all the current Varch allocations possible from previous rounds, because some community members do have tokens that they earned from previous community challenges and things that we had done in the past. When I post those, I will make the entire community aware. If your name is not on it, then you do not have tokens. Because I know some people kind of get a little confused sometimes. They think they might have participated in something. I assure you, we've audited these things several times, made sure everything is correct. So if you're on there, be able to find yourself. Some people have a hard time finding themselves for some reason on it. I get a lot of people messaging me saying, hey, I know I earned points and I can't find myself on these. So if for whatever reason you can't find yourself and you think 100% for sure that you earn points, let me know. My best advice, 9 times out of 10, and it's so simple, if you just have open the points, because they're PDFs, if you have it open and you like Control Shift F to search on the page, just type in your Discord username. A lot of people, for whatever reason, they like look over themselves and they don't see it, and then they'll come messaging me like, "Hey, I've looked over this several times. I can't find myself." I go in there and I immediately find them. So just that's my best advice. If you can't find yourself, if you do that, please reach out to me. But those will be readily available for the community very, very soon. On top of, we will be, so a couple immediate changes that I want to further explain. With the point system, all Varch allocations are now totaled prior to being awarded. And what I mean is there are set Varch allocations for everything that you do now. So I will try to make those. I might just post the ambassador handbook somewhere where community members can view it if they want to. However, this is the community server, and I want to also stress that because we have had a lot of new members asking like how they get involved in the ambassador program on here. We don't do any facet of the ambassador program anymore on the community server. The community server is solely for our community, and basically building it up, talking about the project, encouraging one another, educating one another, those types of things. The ambassador program has its own Discord server called the InvArch Ambassador Embassy, which you can only get into via invitation by me. And once you get in, I have to assign you the roles manually. So, like for example, if somebody shares a link to you to it, you're not going to be able to get in regardless because I have to give you the access after the fact still. So, but yeah, Army roles and core roles. So for core roles now, everyone will be undergoing an interview. So basically how this will work is there's two application forms now. There's an Army application form and there's a core application form. We separated them to make things a little bit easier. And for example, for our veteran ambassadors who've already retired due to their term limits, who were Army members, they can still become core members if they never did, which would exempt their, or basically get rid of their veteran ambassador status because they would enter the embassy again, but that's okay. They would just become veteran ambassadors once they get out of the Corps. So if you are a veteran ambassador and you want to continue to contribute, apply for a Corps application, submit that. If you don't want to be a Corps member, but you really want to get into the InvArch Embassy, apply for the Army, and that's the quickest way to do so. We will be picking back up recruitment, basically, possibly this weekend, possibly, if not this weekend, definitely next week. You'll be seeing more individuals be getting into the embassy. But on top of that, we do have like some friendly competition as well now for the ambassadors because we understood like is very just rinse and repeat tasks that we had basically assigned you guys with. So what we wanted to do now to kind of encourage that growth amongst our ambassadors as well is, so we've removed, for example, the core author and core infographic roles. They're not removed yet off of the server, but they will be when this update goes live at weekly reset normal time. And basically, any ambassador is going to be able to submit their own article or infographic or design for an article to match it. And we've selected, like, there's going to be themes that we go off, and there's a creation flow based in the new ambassador handbook that is going to be released. So once you guys understand that, basically ambassadors, Army members are able to earn extra Varch allocations for if they are selected to be featured directly by the InvArch or Tinkernet parachain. So basically, we'll select a theme. You guys, it's not like a must. You don't have to do it. It's only if you want to put in the extra work, you want to put in that extra time because you want to earn some extra Varch. You want to help the project out a little bit more, whatever the case may be. You submit those. If you're is selected, then you will be not only featured directly by our social media accounts, but you'll win extra Varch allocations. If you're not selected, then just basically see it as you're growing, like you're practicing. Because if you're consistent and you consistently keep trying to do this, more than likely you will be picked. I'm going to be honest, like most of the time when we did allow people to submit articles all the time, there was only like a good 30 people really trying, and we had thousands of members. So I highly encourage all of you, if you feel like you can do it, if you feel like you are a good article writer, I highly encourage all of you, please don't hesitate to try to create an article matching the theme, which, by the way, the first theme, which I believe is going to start, it's going to start probably on Monday, is Tinkernet. So if you guys want to go ahead and just be prepping over the weekend, do so. Get an article ready or a design featuring Tinkernet or showcasing or something. Write an article about it. Get ready for the first theme being Tinkernet because we're onboarding in 3 days. So that's what you guys can expect. But very excited for it because not only are we targeting, we're expanding. We have different new core roles. So, for example, we have newscasters and videographer. So the videographer is somebody who will do like premium 3D animations, these types of things. And if you guys look inside of the Varch like allocations based on they're in the handbook now. Some of these people can earn very nice allocations for their contributions because we understand like putting together a 3D premium video animation can sometimes take a month. So realistically, we want to reward you for your effort. That's why, for example, I can go ahead and tell you all now. So for those of you who are Army members or for those of you who would want to become Army members, how you've been doing things now is that we have an Army submissions channel. People submit things in there. We're going to be getting additional channels for this creation flow and how things work with that. But basically, the Army submissions, what you guys have been doing, those will earn 250 Varch each time. Boom, 250, boom, 250. So it's very transparent, and that's what we wanted to do because we had a lot of people coming to us saying, hey, I've been doing a lot, I've been doing this and that, and I don't feel like I'm getting enough Varch. Or some people were doing like every single task, and it was like basically they just felt like they were getting burnt out. They wanted more of a challenge. So this is our way to kind of address that and inspire some healthy, friendly competition inside of our own community to be featured and, kind of be like a sharpen one another. If you guys wanted to help review each other's articles, things like that. I mean, I would love to see stuff like that. I would love to even help you guys review your articles if you wanted. Not that I will be able to every time, but if I have time to actually stop and review your all's articles, I would be more than happy to. One thing to keep in mind is, of course, articles need to be submitted in English, and as well as like if your design features any like text, like language-based anything, it also needs to be in English as well. Yeah, that's basically all the updates that I want to provide regarding the ambassador program, which you guys can expect as far as updates with that when everything goes live later today. Very, very exciting stuff. Looking forward to everything changing, going live, and seeing how this new shift in the embassy affects things, affects engagement. I think it's going to be fun and exciting. I think it's going to be like a healthier way to inspire engagement in the community as well, and kind of get some friendly back and forth with articles and designs and things. Not to mention, you guys are able to produce some of the coolest stuff I've ever seen. Like, honestly, it's really amazing what some of you all are able to produce. So I'm even more excited now because I know what you all are capable of. So to have this every week, have a theme that you guys are assigned with, and seeing what you guys can produce is going to be really, really cool. I'm very excited. But with that, guys, that's the last bit of the ambassador program that I wanted to talk to you guys about. Once again, I've dropped the applications in the chat if you guys want to look at them. But moving on, I basically just wanted to shout out the most recent polka dot slot winner. So I feel like I'm going to butcher this name, but Integrity won a slot, and they're for safe and confidential data processing. I was looking into them earlier. It's really cool what they're able to do, like from health and wearable data to crypto exchanges, enabling a hybrid design providing centralized exchange speed while like minimizing the counterparty risk. It was really cool. It was really cool. So I just wanted to say shout out to them. We do like to talk about some other .summer projects a little bit, but I don't want to keep you guys here because we've been talking for almost an hour now. I do love you guys. I wanted to say thank you all so much for coming in. Does anybody have any questions before we go? Any questions regarding like Udall DAO, Tinkernet, InvArch, the ambassador program, anything at all? Does anybody have any questions? You can either like message the InvArch Tech Community Lounge chat channel if you guys aren't comfortable taking over the mic, or feel free to take over the mic and ask away. I see somebody's typing a question now.
Oh, shout out to Petros, man. Petros is in the call.
Petros. Yeah, he's the one asking a question right now. I almost thought Udall NFTs were all sold out this morning. The link didn't work.
Oh yeah, so the link was cut off in the initial, I guess, or part of the initial tweet announcement. But the UdoDAO account did reply to it with the complete link. So yeah, they are not sold out yet.
Yep, you heard me.
Did more of those Udals get sold?
Let me try to find it. I dropped a link in here to him. Let me try to see, just so I can answer that question for the community, because a couple people might be wondering. So I believe there's still.
There's 9 left. There's 9 left. Yeah.
There's 9 left. Okay.
Yeah, and I just sent the link, the complete link, into the chat. So Petros, if you want to look at that, there's the link there. Or actually, you probably would have seen it already because you said 9 left. So.
Only 9 left, guys. These are some of the top-notch NFTs. I would consider these as one of like the higher echelon of NFTs. Definitely.
Will be the first
NFTs.
NFTs.
So everyone, that means a lot coming from Dustin. Like, this guy is
an
let
NFT
me just say,
degen.
This is his bread and butter.
He loves himself some NFTs. And yeah, UdoDAO will be the first to basically feature InvArch functionality. Very, very cool. So Crypto Hustler got me into DPS. Yeah. He's a very, very, very nice guy. Dustin is awesome. If you guys aren't familiar with Dustin, he's been a part of our community for a while now. We got to meet him in Austin. It's just been a pleasure since we met him. He's been awesome, bridging people into our community, and hopefully we bridged a couple into his as well.
Thank you, Casey. I appreciate that.
Absolutely, man. Well, guys, there you have it. UdoDAO Ambassador Program updates. Tinkernet going live, being onboarded in just 3 days. Lots of exciting stuff going on right now, y'all. And I wouldn't anticipate that it's going to let up anytime soon. So with that being said, if nobody else has any questions,
I just have a final note. Sorry, just want to say one final thing. Once again, shout outs to Dustin, shout outs to Petros, shout outs to Tycho M, and of course to everyone, to all of you ambassadors that have been consistently joining these calls. We wouldn't have this without you. But we also do appreciate our external supporters that I've mentioned earlier. So thank you so much for coming out today.
Absolutely, guys. There's no better way to kick off your weekend than with friends and a friendly community that we all have like-minded goals and things. I look forward to these community calls every week, guys. I really do. It's always so much fun getting to talk with you all, getting to share the most recent updates, and just hang out. So thank you all once again for showing up this early Friday morning. I know it's not morning for all of you, very early for me. I've been up since way earlier than I normally am, so it's a little bit longer. But once again, thank you guys for joining me this morning. Thanks for another wonderful community call with all you beautiful people. I hope to see you all back next week, Friday again, the exact same time, and we'll have more updates, more exciting news to drop with you guys. So with that being said, thank you all so much for joining us, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Have a nice
Thank you.
weekend. Thank you.
Peace, everyone.